Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for episode 85 of the Pod Ones podcast. I'm your host, Char J, joined by my co-host, Luke.
Hey, what's going on? And I don't like that comment.
And Hereth Productions.
What the fuck is this comment?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Also, there goes your monetization. I just said fuck in 30 seconds.
Anyways,
whatever.
Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Today we're going to be discussing Season 2, Episode 20 of Star Wars Rebels, also known as The Mystery of Chopper Base. We have one guest on, and she will be making her debut to our Rebels show, or more or less debut to our show in general.
Yes.
You might have seen her recently, but before we bring her in, Luke, Hereth, we're ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
Okay, so I want to preface something before we bring in our guest. Yes, we were a bit late. I messaged Luke that I was going to be late because I had some matters to take care of, and so I was saying, hey, you guys can go ahead without me. But I guess I can't.
Every single time. No. And I will say this.
You know.
And I will say this. Char, I am awful at doing intros for the podcast. It's absolutely atrocious.
I try my best.
Every single time I do it, it falls flat and it's so awkward. So I wanted to talk to our guest a little bit longer, so sue me. But yeah,
yes, which Luke, our guest is very interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was on 2 reactions for Rings of Power. That was her first debut.
Yeah, and she was on for our Mandalorian reaction this week.
Absolutely.
So you might have seen her face around here, but let's bring in Luke. You can say her name.
Selma or Emily.
I was waiting to see who was going to attempt that.
I was trying to say your name the other day. I was like, Silmer Emily?
Yeah, I say Selma Emily, but I mean, you can just call me Emily. It's fine.
I'm not a big Tolkien guy, so I don't.
Right.
I don't even know how to say. Is it Silmarillion?
No. So yeah. It's a niche reference. I mostly understand that people are like, what?
Yeah. So
what is that, nerd?
Yeah, but Emily, how are you?
I'm great. I can't believe it's my first time on the actual podcast. I didn't realize it. I had.
Yeah, you've been around Luke for a while now, so it's fun that you're making your appearance now. But you have made it a few days ago, actually. So
yeah,
absolutely.
But Emily, where can the good people of the Pod Ones community find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Silmer Emily. Got lucky, got the handle everywhere.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, that doesn't happen very often. And by the way, did you notice anything a familiar voice in that intro, by the way, Emily?
Maybe.
It's Chris.
Really?
Yes. And he did it in it was when he first got his whole Vader cosplay.
He only had his helmet.
So he only had the helmet. So he did the recording and then Hereth threw it into Adobe, right? Or something like that.
What ended up happening was Chris got his Vader helmet. I immediately messaged him. I was like, wait, I have an idea. Because he already recorded the audio. And I was like, what if we just sync it up? And so I worked in privately with Luke. Char didn't know. And I masked it out and then I just threw it into Adobe.
It was to start season 2 too, right? Or was it the start of season 1?
It was the middle of season 2.
Oh, yeah. I was like, that's a really, really fancy intro. Okay.
No, yeah. So yeah, and Chris has done a whole lot of other things for us as well. But also, Jesse, it is Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month, and I'm not holding Alanis down. If anything, yeah. You weren't fired. There was a breach of contract, and both sides agreed that it was probably the best to move on. But
this situation sounds familiar.
Oh, just it's Women's History Month. Can you not, please? Goodness. All right, but in all seriousness, Happy Women's Month, you guys. The women in all of fandom, you guys are important, and we here at the Pod Ones appreciate everything that you guys mean to our community. So
So
there
are
you
we
go.
saying Luke drinks his
Very
Mr.
nice.
Lemon juice?
By the way, Duel of the Ranks is doing Mando Bingo. And I got one that I got to cross off today on my bingo cards. So.
Which one was it? I think I got mine too. It was
7. It was number
Dink
7.
Dink Ferric, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was.
It was Manos' Dink Ferric
before the end of episode 2.
Or episode 2.
Yeah.
And he said Dink
yeah.
Ferric.
He did say it.
The pirate.
Yeah.
Phase, yeah.
Yes.
Pirate
space fight.
I'm wishing that we could have done something like this. Because I think we could have made it it would have done a really good, but maybe we'll do that for Ahsoka.
Or we can do a different type of thing. Maybe not bingo.
Oh, what are you thinking? Tic-tac-toe? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Anyway.
I don't know. Connect 4.
4.
But Brooke in the chat. Thanks for waiting.
Oh, I love Brooke.
Yeah, I apologize for the delay. I got
No. It is time.
Yes, yeah. So just because we had you waiting, Brooke, we will promote your products. So Brooke, she's not only a content creator, but she has her own merchandise website, which is farfarawayfactory.com. You can go and find Star Wars, Marvel, DC products, whether it stands from sweatshirts, t-shirts, stickers, earrings, all different types of clothing and apparel. You can go and find her on farfarawayfactory.com, her Etsy page at farfarawayfactory. You can follow her on TikTok at B Dazzler _. I mess up the underscores. I'm not part of underscore gang anymore. And then Instagram at farfarawayfactory. So if you want to go give her some of your money to go get some of her stuff, it's really, really nice. She has pictures of certain scenes in Star Wars characters. She also
you have the personalized shoes.
Yeah, she custom made his Jordan 1s.
Yep.
That's so cool.
With quotes from the movies that Vader's in.
Yeah, she does jackets too.
Yep, she did.
Yeah,
jackets.
she does a bunch of things. So yeah, if you want to go find
Wouldn't be surprised.
It is farfarawayfactory.com.
Yep, farfarawayfactory.com. Would not be surprised if she comes out with The Last of Us. Get up.
I've been waiting.
I did mention before about Hot D merchandise.
I know.
Yeah, Hot D merchandise. Yes.
She is a sucker for Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah. Emily here hasn't watched Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, so if you're a real Pod Ones fan, you will remember us talking about this in the what episode was that in Rings of Power? 4? I want to say it was 4. Reaction. We were talking about how you get all freaked out when you see blood.
Yes, because there was like some gore in that episode, and I was like, it was the one where they have the orcs attack their town, and like Arondir is fighting, and like the blood. I was just like,
I haven't finished Rings of Power. I've only watched the first 2 episodes.
Sean.
Hey,
no, Char, you should watch it. Char, you should watch it.
I got Bilbo's sword over here. What's the name of Bilbo's sword?
Oh my god, the fact that you don't know it. Take away your nerd.
Hold on, I'm gonna grab it. I'll show it to you.
Here we go. Now we gotta.
I don't remember the name.
You delay the show, and then you have to get up.
You don't know Sting.
Does it light up? If it doesn't light up, fake fan.
You say if it doesn't light up, I'm a fake fan?
Yep.
That's not how it works, buddy.
It wasn't actually forged by the elves of Gondolin and glow when orcs.
Wow, that's pretty. Thank God we're not on TikTok. We would have been banned.
I got this a few years ago. It was really nice.
But if you think about it, though,
it's got Elvish on it, and
it's really funny cool. Because if you remember in The Hobbit, Balin tells Bilbo that
Luke, you look like Balin.
Like
I'm more of a Dwalin guy anyway.
Because I'm old.
Yeah. I'm more of a Dwalin guy anyway.
Balin ends up going and sort of recapturing Moria a little bit, but
no, I redact my statement. You're buffer.
I
Oh
hate
no.
you. I absolutely hate
Hey, you
you.
like cheese.
That is very true.
Hmm.
But I don't eat it by the block.
And you like,
Yeah.
rolling in barrels. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
that's right. That's right. You do it
Anyway.
all the time.
Anyway. And by the way, in the Mandalorian reaction, we made a couple of
I did make a lot of I was like, you're Galadriel?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, they're forging the sword of Narsil.
I know. But it's only fair because in Lord of the Rings, I am also constantly making Star Wars references.
Yeah,
so
that is fair. That is fair. Yeah, just
it's
ask
only
you better.
fair.
I go into his lives all the time and I just
Yeah, you make
like,
one
oh
Star
man,
Wars reference, and then
he's
we're
gonna
both
here,
just
yeah,
like
yeah, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna talk
derailing
about
it
Star
into
Wars
Star
about 30
Wars
minutes.
talk.
But no. So Emily, we usually start off with an icebreaker question.
Okay.
So because Chopper Base introduces us to like the spider creatures. I don't really know what their names are, Char. You probably know them offhand.
The Krykna.
The Krykna.
Okay.
The icebreaker question when I get it pulled up, watch, I'm not even prepared. Look at that.
You had an extra 15 minutes.
I know I did, and shame on me. If you had to create a species or an animal in the Star Wars universe, what would it be and why?
Like just create my own species.
Yeah, you could. It could be like a mixture of like two real life animals. It could be anything you want. And why?
Create a species that, I feel like this is something they should have done anyway. I would create a species that looks just like Kermit the Frog. Because I mean, the Muppets all like Yoda is a Muppet. Whether you like it or not, Yoda is a Muppet. He was operated by Frank Oz, who was one of the, core performers for Jim Henson and the Muppets. Many of the puppets, background characters, stuff like that in the original Star Wars movies were made by Jim Henson Studios. So I feel like they should have just snuck in some species in there that looked like Kermit as like a little nod to Jim Henson and the Muppets.
I feel like you could say that the Kowakian monkey lizards are.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, but like I don't know. I just want a background.
You just want Kermit singing.
Yeah, I want the Rainbow Connection in Star Wars. I want a side quest where they go sing Rainbow Connection.
I was gonna say, this gives me the same energy as George R.R. Martin hiding the Sesame Street characters as family names.
Oh yeah,
did he really?
Yes, he did.
Elmo, there's a Kermit.
Kermit. There's not an Oscar, is there?
There's not.
Oh my god.
I think there is.
Well, like Kermit and Elmo, and those were like popular male names in the early 1900s. They've just been co-opted, and now you can't name anybody Kermit or Oscar or Elmo without thinking of, which just proves how influential the Muppets really are. So I don't know. I think
not in the Star Wars community.
Some planet that has little, like the porgs, how they made the porgs because they were filming on these islands in like Iceland or Ireland or somewhere, and they had puffins on them, and they were like, we cannot physically edit out all of these damn puffins, so they just created an alien animal that looked sort of like a puffin, so that if they're far away in a shot somewhere, you're like, oh, it's just a porg.
Oh yeah, Emily. I don't know if you heard my statement right there, but were you around when Star Wars and puppets were thing?
Oh, okay.
I made a joke
that I do remember
not
that.
in Star Wars.
I did not pick up on that. Yeah, I do remember that drama. But that was a puppet.
What a time.
That was a puppet. It wasn't a Muppet.
Muppets are.
And then we had a bunch of Muppets dunking on that puppet.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
That's so the times.
It's not a really good answer, but that's.
I think
it's popped into my head.
I think that's a funny one though.
I also did Google it. It's Elmo, Kermit, and Grover.
Grover, yes. Grover Cleveland. He was one of our presidents. Popular male name.
We're gonna see that in House of Dragons season 2.
Yeah, I know a lot of Grovers. Friends with a lot of Grovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a last name or a first name?
No, I was just being sarcastic.
Because nobody.
I don't know anybody with the name of Grover.
You're a dick.
Nobody uses those names anymore because they're just too associated with
That's
children's characters.
Because I mean, I'm not gonna name my kid Elmo.
No.
Why not?
But like people were naming their kids that in the 1800s.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like there were Kermits and like Grover Cleveland. That was just a guy's name.
True.
His name was just Grover.
Luke, knowing you probably name your kid Anakin or Shmi.
No, Alanis
I've
would
seen
not allow
I've
that.
seen Anakin's running around. Like I've seen people who've named
No
their
shit.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, there are little kids running around.
Cinema has an effect on people.
Alanis
Hermione.
Alanis wouldn't allow me to do that, nor would I want to anyway. Anakin's kind of a. It doesn't go with my last name or her last name, if that were to happen. But she hates her last name, so that's that.
Why don't you just name him Luke?
Very funny, because I want a journey. I want a junior. Absolutely
you want
not.
a Luke too.
No, thank you.
Name him Benedict for Eggs Benedict.
Ooh. Oh, that would be cruel.
Imagine Benedict Egan.
Hey, just go ahead and say the last name. Don't have to do too much. Damn it. You can't bleep that out. Damn you, Char. Chris, everybody go check out Dark Side Divas and Marvelous Divas. Chris is one half of that group. Always love having him in the chat and in on the podcast. He was also a first timer a couple of weeks ago because I've been meaning to have him on forever. But
also, Luke, you can't talk about your name being blurred out because your username was literally your last name for the longest time on TikTok and Discord. So you're one to talk.
Well, it's Egghead.
No, I'm talking about the other one.
Well, that's what it was on TikTok, but on
Discord.
Oh, yeah, I mean it still is. But whatever. That's different.
But really?
Anyway, Hereth, what would yours be?
I don't know. My mind got too focused on
all right, well,
Char,
what would your species be?
I'd say I would make it similar to I'd make it like an altered Geonosian, because Geonosians are insects. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. I feel like, give them saws for hands. I don't know.
Some crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus. I came up with the question. I don't even really have an answer. I would have a. No, it is, and I came up with it on the fly because I was like watching it. And I was like, huh. We get loath wolves. We get spider things.
The little snail guys. I like the little snail guys.
Yeah, those are nice.
My mind originally went to, obviously I don't have like a species exactly in mind, but like fantasy species that you can modulate into like Star Wars.
Oh, I would want a lion. I want a lion that would have wings. I don't know what those are called.
Ooh. Or like a lion turtle, like from Avatar.
Lions with wings. It wouldn't just be a griffin.
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Griffin? Yeah.
Yeah, a lion with wings. That's a griffin. A
Okay,
lion with.
It's
like a lion combined with an eagle.
Yeah. That's what I would do. That'd be
like
a griffin.
Hippogriff.
Yeah.
This is buckbait.
But let us know in the chat what you guys would do. Alana said plankton from SpongeBob. Kenny says I want Pikachu in Star Wars, a small electric rat, the chaos that would come from that. Yeah. That's true, Kenny. You would definitely do. Oh, here we go.
That's very pat.
A Star Wars hippocampus. I don't know what that is.
I like the idea of a lion turtle, like from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I think that'd be a cool concept for Star Wars to have a planet where all of the land forms were like living creatures.
Interesting.
I feel like that would fit.
Well,
Star Wars.
If you
There's
think about
really big creatures and.
Yeah, if you think about it though, Emily, season 3 you have the Bendu, which is sort of like the turtle.
Yeah, he's
from a philosophical.
Yeah. Way. Oh, definitely. He's definitely lion turtle analogous, and he's kind of like made of the environment. Like blends in with the little like the things on him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that is the icebreaker question. Now we're going to get into the meat of this episode, the story. All right. So today we're going to be talking about season 2, episode 20, Mystery of Chopper Base. The short and long of it, it's just kind of a continuation of the last episode. We get to the planet that Chopper and AP5 have found for the rebels. They are using it as a base, and we run into the issue of spider things taking over, trying to attack the rebel base. And through the chaos, Rex gets taken. The Ghost crew has to go and save him, with the other plot line of Hera and Kanan's relationship kind of being strained a little bit, and Ezra kind of growing up into more of a leader type and whatnot. Wait, that's a horsefish? What? A hippocamus is a horsefish.
Is a horsefish not just a seahorse?
Interesting. Also, hi Malik.
Kenny must
but
be going crazy right now.
What'd you say?
Kenny must be going crazy right now.
Oh, I know. He can't keep up. So basically they go and rescue Rex. They kind of figure out that the beacons are what the spiders are afraid of. So they use it, and that's how they're able to escape. And then they get to the end. Ahsoka shows up, and Ezra and Kanan are about to go to Malachor with Ahsoka, which we will dive deep into next week with a whole lot of people. My God, that's a great episode. But we're here to talk. It's not 8. First of all, it's not 8. It's maybe 3. Now it's 4.
It's like 4 or 5.
4. I'll say 4. But my first question of this episode of Mystery of Chopper's Base. In this episode, we see the struggle of the group beginning to break apart due to Ezra and Kanan leaving on their Jedi missions. How do you think this affects the crew individually, like on a person-to-person basis?
I mean, obviously Hera is, like, you see when they're training that it's like she's sort of proud. Like she's initially looking on with kind of like pride, and then when she sees Kanan kind of go at Ezra, when he's standing behind him, and he's like, "Never turn your back on your enemy," and Ezra's like, "Well, you're not my enemy." Her expression kind of changes, and she's a little bit more like concerned or upset. So I mean, definitely that you can feel the strain on her and Kanan's relationship. I feel like Zeb, I don't know if he's really gotten to the point where he's like super bonded with Ezra yet at this point.
Yeah.
So he's sort of like goes out and lounges and turns some music on. I mean, he lets Ezra, he's like kind of pull up a crate and sit there and watch the sunset. And I think it's a really nice moment, just kind of sitting there, taking it all in before the chaos. But I don't know. I feel like Zeb's just kind of like, you'll be fine, not worried. Sabine, I don't know. We don't really see, like, I would say the most she's affected is just like when they go into the caves and Hera is like, she sends Ezra with Kanan, and they're like, well, shouldn't we have like one Jedi each? And Hera's like, we're going to have to learn how to cope without them. And you see Sabine kind of go like, like, we're kind of on our own here, which is sad. But
yeah, because at that point, if you really think about it, they really haven't split apart as a group a ton. You know what I mean? And that's been the consistent with Hera ever since she met Kanan in A New Dawn. She's always had that sense of like the security blanket for it's not to bring sports into this, but if it like the security blanket for Patrick Mahomes is Travis Kelce. He's always the old reliable. He's there when you need him the most, and that's kind of where what
yes, I definitely
is to Hera.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. But it's you can see it affects it. It definitely affects Hera the most because of that connection that obviously her and Kanan have. Sabine like sees it as well, especially when and I mean it's also kind of funny. You don't really get the perspective of Rex in this because he's being captured to begin with.
Yeah.
But like he's I think that would have been an interesting perspective to kind of get.
Yeah.
But then
Because
also
of what's about to happen in the context of facing off with Vader like that. Although he doesn't know.
He
so
doesn't
I
guess, for what we know in canon, he does not know
Okay.
about what happened to Anakin.
Yeah.
The only people that know are Bail, Yoda, Breha, Obi-Wan, and that's it. Pretty sure that's it. Is that it? Or am I missing? Oh, well, obviously Palpatine.
Yeah.
And Tarkin. There's a lot more people that know about that than I realize now. But anyway, it's very, very interesting question because I watched this episode and it's like this because when you have a penultimate episode.
Yeah.
It's like the penultimate is like it's like it's setting you up for that. And that's what we get from the end, especially with the music.
Oh, yes, I was waiting to talk about that. The outro music is the Darth Vader theme. I was like, ooh, that is like this sense of foreboding, I think, is like very apparent in the episode. Like the scene, like the pretty much the very end where Sabine is like, "Are you dumb? Go talk to her." Like she's upset because obviously she like has picked up on Hera being upset about this, and like they have this moment where he's like, "We'll see each other again, I promise." And I'm like, "Oh no!" It's just like it sets up so much stuff, and they have that moment where they're hugging in the sunset. Everything's about to change, kind of thing.
Is it wrong when I watched that? I was like, "Ha! I see what you did there, Filoni, you asshole."
Yes, yeah. Like you don't think anything of it. You're like, "Oh yeah, we'll see each other again," but then you're like, "Oh, we'll see." Oh no!
Yeah. It's like, hey, Dick, I know what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know what you're about to do, and it is
Yeah.
so sad because that is the like besides coming back from at the very end of Twilight Apprentice, that's the last we see of the other Ghost members for an episode and a half.
Yeah.
And it's wild. It's absolutely wild. And then my other question, speaking of Ezra, throughout this episode, we see Ezra take more of a leadership role and make more suggestions. As in when him and Kanan are in the cave and they're kind of talking, and then they meet up with the group again. He says, "Hey, I am like follow us." Like he's taking a lead. And then when they're trying to get the ship from being unstikified, he goes, "We're gonna me and you do this, you do that." I can't remember the exact thing, but like Sabine stay there, and she goes, "Why am I on the ram?" And he's like, "We're gonna push you, force push you." And it's like you can see him starting to take more of an initiative when he has good ideas. How do you think that changes the dynamic of the group going forward in the series?
I mean, I think it's this episode and obviously the end of the season kind of mark a turning point for him being this new kid that they've brought on board, and he's kind of rash and he isn't like all the way in. I feel like after this episode and what happens in the next two episodes, it kind of switches from him to him being like you said, like taking on more of a leadership role. And I mean, he finally gets, I guess, kind of like a face off with an actual Jedi. So like this is more of like a test of his what he's learned and his skills, and I don't know. Yeah, he does kind of like he says, we'll clear the way, you know, like follow us, and he goes out and he and Kanan cut the spider webs, I guess, off.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Ezra hit his little cocky era.
Yeah. But like it's more justified, I feel like now than it was. Like I think he was too confident for his abilities in the past, and like maybe he's starting to get a little bit more like it's starting to be
a little bit more respect.
A little bit more, and then Twilight of the Apprentice happens, and you're like, "Oh, hi Ezra."
But like the other thing is too is it that's also kind of been something, now that I think about it, it's been kind of building, because he earns a rank after. No, he gains the respect of Sato when they get pulled in with the gravity well this season as well. Sato looks at his abilities and is thinking, "Wow, there's like potential there." But now it's kind of built up to this point, and I feel like it's very, very good foreshadowing on the storyteller's part to kind of put those pieces like in those episodes, because what happens at the end of season 2. He has to take more of a role because Kanan is not so sure about his abilities after Twilight of Apprentice, and this kind of just shows you that he has the capability of doing that. And I think that's a pretty important thing.
Yeah.
Char, Hereth, I forgot to ask you guys about the first question. Do you guys have anything to add with the second one?
Not really. I think Emily hit the really good point about like Hera kind of growing the group and kind of just prepping the group. It's more or less what Kenny said of like she knows she has to just at this point like listen, we can't. The Jedi are mostly gone outside of Ezra and Kanan, to her knowledge. We have to prep and get ready for missions without them. So it just kind of shows Hera's ability as a leader, not only for the Ghost Group but for the whole Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
Well, Hera's not just a leader; she's a mom. She's like in charge of like everything, and if people are out of line, she'll set you straight.
Yeah,
like like a mother would, and especially when it comes to Ezra too.
I liked that, like you can see more of like Kanan being involved in the rebellion. Like before, he's like, no, like we want to be Lone Rangers. I don't want to be involved in this like bigger, rebellion. And in this episode, he's like, no, like we need this base. We're gonna protect it. And it's like, oh, he's you can tell he's changed his mind.
I was really hoping that Hereth would pick the thumbnail and it'd be, oh,
this is
my
happy face.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be the thumbnail.
Moments like Ezra, when he and Kanan are arguing, he's like, "You always change the subject when I start winning," and it's like you can tell he's still just as argumentative as he always has been, but like he actually he's gaining some wisdom, and like he's right. I guess maturing. Like at least a little bit more of the time than I guess he used to be.
No, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then you get the hilarious quip and lesson of Kanan be like, "Never turn your back on your enemy." And Ezra's like, "When were you my enemy?"
Right. He's like, that's not relevant to this situation.
Yeah, this doesn't matter, bro. Like, what? Yeah. What are you talking about?
He's less like, oh, this little dumb kid knows nothing, and you're like, wait, actually, he has a point. Like,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then I mean, Emily kind of touched it on the last one. Hera preps the group for not being able to like, she's trying to get them to adapt without Ezra and Kanan, obviously. And how does this speak to her leadership skills, not only for the Ghost Group but for the Rebellion Alliance as a whole?
I mean, they could, like, the rebellion would be nothing without Hera. I mean, she knows how to direct people. Like that's something it's almost like it's second nature to her, where they get off the ship and she's like, Chopper figures out which way Rex is, and she's like, we'll go here, Chopper, you stay with the ship. Like she knows how to keep everything working, and I think it's like her her stress about the fate of the rebellion and also like Kanan leaving is like palpable in this episode. You can tell that like, which I mean, it's a good thing that she does kind of, I think, prepare herself for them being gone, because obviously Kanan comes back, he's not really the same. So it's like they're back, but not, I guess, in the same way that they were. So I don't know. I think her leadership abilities rub off on. You can tell they're kind of rubbing off on Ezra, which is a good thing. Yeah.
And Ezra's learning a lot.
Yeah.
With Kanan's growing, because before Kanan was reluctant to really do anything. He was just like, I want to hide, I want to lay low.
Yeah, he didn't want to train.
And then now, since Kanan's changing, Ezra's feeding off of it, which is, it all works hand in hand.
Yeah.
Which is why people say they prefer Ezra and Kanan as the best master apprentice relationship,
Yeah,
because they feed off of each other. When Kanan learns, Ezra learns. When Ezra learns off Kanan learns about Ezra. It's like this very symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely.
Which, what happens to one of you will affect the other. You must understand this.
No, I love that dynamic.
No, yeah. But that's the end of the story segment. Now time to get into Char.
Let's dive into the lore of the mystery of Chopper Base.
Where's the lore one? Where's it at? Oh my god, I lost it.
Good job, Luke. You had one job.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
The lore?
Where is it? No, seriously, where is it? Oh, it's right there.
Don't be too proud of this podcast you've constructed. The ability to tell 3 interesting facts is insignificant next to the power of the law.
And we're back. Yeah, Luke, that was pretty rough there. But anyway, we're here to talk about the lore of the mystery of Chopper Base. So today's lore is local infestations. Yay. So
we're talking about insects.
Yeah, get ready for it. It's going to be fun. So this episode heavily involves the Krykna spiders that created some problems for our protagonists in this episode. In Star Wars, bugs and insects play a big part of the world building and the variety of life in Star Wars. So, some examples in the Star Wars franchise for, bugs and insects. So we have the Erling infestation in Bad Batch Season 1. We have the white ice spiders in Mandalorian Season 2. We have the Weeshok spiders from Kashyyyk and the Baneback spiders from Dathomir in Fallen Order. And we also have the Kuhuns centipedes from Attack of the Clones, and many more. There's so many different types of bugs that are in the Star Wars universe, but I can't name them all. But you get the gist of it. So my question is, if you had to deal with an infestation of bugs, what would be the issue? And how would you fix the problem?
Oh my gosh. Like in the Star Wars universe or just like in real life?
Emily knows what she's doing in real life.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. I felt like the way that they dealt with it in this episode, like where Sabine figures out that, whatever like radio frequencies or whatever's coming off those things they're scared of. I was pretty smart. Gosh.
But if you were to take any species of insect in Star Wars and they created an infestation that you had to deal with, how would you deal with it?
Probably burn everything to the ground and move somewhere else.
I was waiting for my answer.
I'd be like, out of here.
I wasn't gonna do the burning to the ground. I was gonna do the peace out and then be like, nope, I have too much PTSD with Terra Malicos. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I can understand like in the rebels like desperation thing. Like we have to we have to stay here. This place is like the best we can find. But be like this planet right here, good candidate. Explode now. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think unless I was like a Jedi or I had some kind of army or people with me, like I'd probably just hightail it out of there. I think the only way to deal with it otherwise is to do what they did and like find some kind of
peaceful
deterrent
resolution.
Or I don't know, like I feel bad about saying killing them all because like those little spider guys, that's their home. Like it's like I guess I'm the invasive species here, so I would feel bad being like, kill them all because that's their home, not
That's
mine.
true. That's true.
But I don't know.
That's very humanitarian.
It would depend how important the species was for the survival of the ecosystem. If it's like a keystone species, maybe I just leave it alone. If it's like, equivalent to wasps,
What if it's
torch them
under your house?
Under my house, like
yeah,
yeah, I'd just move. I'd go somewhere else.
Or what you could do, just get the Death Star, easy. Hereth, what insect would you have a problem with, and how would you handle it?
All the spiders you mentioned, all the above, and I would just fuck out of there. Like,
what about the Cahoon centipedes, the ones that try to kill Padme?
Oh hell no!
Oh no!
The ones that I mentioned.
The legs?
No, hell no,
no.
Don't worry. All I gotta do is just grab a lightsaber and just swing it maybe a
Shove
half
in
inch
half.
away from the person that's gonna get attacked.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that is.
Make sure you hide it the very last second. Wait till they're about to literally eat you. That's when you kill them.
As R2 screams.
Big ass bugs meets big ass gun.
Oh my god. I would see. Here's my thing. I would capture one. I would train it. I would make it. I would make it into like, not to like in the way of like commanding it, but I would teach it in a way that it would tell all of its all of its other species, like, yo, this guy,
like Ezra tries
got
to
a
do.
threat.
He tries to connect
exactly.
with the spider.
Or like what Kanan does in season 3, Luke.
Yes.
I literally was thinking about that. I was about to be like, wait a minute. This episode
wait a damn minute. No, I would do that, because then I wouldn't have to kill them.
I thought you were gonna do like obviously you haven't watched the show. I thought you were gonna be like, I'm gonna be like Vecna and Stranger Things, just torture a bunch of spiders and control them.
No.
Capturing and studying it.
To appease Ven, which hole do you think it'll go in? The nose or the ears?
Oh yeah, the callback to the voice emulator.
Yes.
I thought Char, you're gonna do what Nick said on yesterday's podcast, and just because you're the Anakin, this question, you'd be like, I thought the nose.
I vote the nose. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good episode.
It's a callback to the
Geonosis arc, when the Geonosis eggs pop out and the brain invaders. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's where Barriss gets taken over, and it's like, oh, we should have seen the signs. Just kidding. She just is in the wrong. Just got pushed in the wrong direction. But yeah, no, that's how I would handle it.
I like that one.
Char, are you gonna answer your own question?
I'd say so those centipedes, those Kuhans, I'd say I'd get a ball pit and surround them.
Going?
And then have a little play day with them. You know what I mean?
And you're gonna
fire.
Like
play with fire. Play with fire. Yeah, you get it.
Oh, okay.
Give them a ball pit, just then have some fun, and then
light
flame trooper. First order flame trooper just pulls up.
Now, what makes you think they would enjoy the ball pit?
I don't know.
Of all the activities, like you think.
Hey, you can't go wrong with a ball pit.
I mean, you can. Kids piss in them all the fucking time.
Have you seen those videos of people like cleaning them out and like all the?
Oh my!
Well, that's the thing. Kids aren't going to be in it. Centipedes are going to be in it.
I think that's worse. Because then, like, you're like, where are they? Where do they go?
So yeah, just give them like a few hours of fun, and then a first order flame trooper pulls up and just obliterates it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's humane. Giving them
not really.
last wishes.
Yeah, last hoorah in the
Enjoy.
ball pit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love Emily. Or blowing up planet because of spiders. Centipedes getting lit on fire.
Can we pause for a second? Just look at Luke. It's just like he's literally this.
Like leaned all the way back into the shadows.
Here we go. There we go. Now I can do it.
Thank you. Now it's not, 10%
It's
of
like
your
my.
screen.
It's not like my head.
It's just
like
head.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. It was hilarious.
Speaking of like a floating head, I really want to watch, and this is gonna be the last derailment, I promise. No, probably not, but whatever.
It will not be.
Emily, have you seen what we do in the shadows?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it.
This
Have
is
you ever
really-
seen the TikTok trend of that's how we sound in Tucson, Arizona?
I don't think so.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Luke's
I
newest
have like
hyperfixation.
it is.
And I'm
Atlantis
kinda-
Atlantis and I need to watch it because
And I'm
we
kind
we
of
quote it
leaning
to each other all
into
the time.
that with our D&D game.
Oh my God! Please tell me that there's gonna be a Laszlo person in it.
Yes, probably.
Yes. Oh,
Somewhere
that's
in the
gonna be
map.
my new best friend. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, Chris. Oh,
And thank you, Kenny, for telling us the truth.
Anyway, we only deal with derailments. We don't deal with absolutes. We deal with derailments.
But
anyway.
anywho, that is it for my lore. I just wanted to ask you guys about, the Krykna spiders and their, hanging wrecks up in the cave and causing issues. But anyways, let's dive into the interconnectedness with Hereth.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Come in, come on.
That was
Welcome
a good
to
one.
Interconnectedness. And today, and we don't have a question. Pull up a chair. This is going to be like a Socratic seminar. I'm going to pull up a tweet.
Oh, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, grab your
for the audio
tomahawk
listeners.
steak. I don't know what you do.
For the audio listeners, Hereth is going to pull up a tweet from Dave Filoni from what 2017. Where were you? Okay, here's a question for the chat.
Where were you in
was
2017?
You in 2017? Thank you, Char. Emily, where were you in 2017?
I was a sophomore in college.
2017, I was a junior in high school.
Char.
High school.
Yeah.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Emily, you and I are around the same age.
What the heck?
Wait, not
I
sophomore.
thought I was going to be young. Oh my God.
I was a freshman. Never mind.
Yeah.
In high school?
I turned 23 in April.
I turned 21.
I graduated high school in 2015. So I was.
Oh, I'm older than you, Emily.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Luke's like fucking 52.
Fuck up.
Oh my God.
I'm not 52.
Yeah, I was.
51 and a half.
Just got back from Arizona with my wife and newborn son. Oh, congratulations, Kenny.
Wait, I don't think that's right. Is it? That's really random for him to say. Is that true, Kenny?
Kenny derailed his. I love how he has a
Kenny.
Kenny.
Is that true? Because if so, oh my God.
I was 3.
I was.
Don't say it.
I was in my dad's ball sack.
Oh, that was back in
I
2017.
thought you just had a newborn
Holy
son. Never mind.
shit.
Okay.
I didn't know you guys didn't. I knew he was saying that as like in 2017. You guys just asked.
Okay, so yeah, Hereth, describe what this tweet is.
Okay, so back in 2017, Dave Filoni tweeted out this vague tweet. So originally in Mystery of Chopper Base, words are hard. Originally in Mystery of Chopper Base, Ahsoka was supposed to have a major role. Obviously, outside of the end teaser for Twilight of the Apprentice, we were supposed to get an entire scene between Ahsoka and the Bendu. And then he actually releases what the script was going to be. Oh, God.
Okay.
And you can read it here if anyone wants to do audio commentary. Char, you're the audio guy. You can do some commentary.
Yeah, audio commentary.
It just occurred to me that I never got to tell you all the story of the time that Bendu and Ahsoka Tano. It was a brief encounter which took place around the end of the episode, The Mystery of Chopper Base, from Season 2, just before Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra left on their fateful mission to Malachor. Of their conversation, you might find this dialogue to be the most interesting. Bendu, you are set on this confrontation then? Ahsoka, I have to know the truth, Bendu. So be it, but understand this. Much will change as a result of this encounter, including you. Ahsoka, isn't that the true isn't that true of all things? As time advances, Bendu. My dear, when I say change, I mean death. Ahsoka, so I will die? Bendu, will you? I didn't know that. Goodbye then, Ahsoka Tano, former Jedi Knight.
That was
Okay,
actually
I
pretty good.
feel like the Kermit reference from earlier snuck its way into that voiceover because that was Kermit.
Not only did that sneak in there,
That was-
Luke literally said the Bendu, and I was like, "Oh, funny enough, I literally have something about the Bendu prepared."
Yeah. Yeah, I can you imagine if that had actually happened?
Oh yeah, also in the chat,
would
grade
have
my
loved that.
Bendu voice. I'm kind of curious.
It sounded
Oh,
like Jake
Jesus,
with
don't.
Tom
Kermit the
Baker.
Frog.
Tom Baker.
Oh, Tom Baker.
He's
Yeah, Luke,
the
yeah, tell us about
third
Tom Baker.
Doctor, I think. Fourth Doctor. He's the fourth Doctor.
I've never another derailment. Never seen Doctor Who.
I haven't.
Neither have I.
Oh, I love Doctor Who.
Holy shit! Whoa, wait, we haven't seen Doctor Who. Oh, where's our reactions to Doctor Who?
Where's Doctor?
Okay,
where's Doctor Why, When, and How?
If you ever seriously do that, I'm instating myself as a host because I love watching Doctor Who with people for the first time.
You and Pat.
And Bale.
Jail.
Oh yeah,
literally.
Yeah, Brooke's watching it too.
Like there's some. Oh my gosh, maybe that you guys are busy,
yeah,
but
maybe we'll do
if there's
that.
a demand for it.
If there is a demand for it, isn't there supposed to be a Doctor Who season on Disney Plus? Like, aren't they moving them all to Disney Plus now?
Yeah.
I
don't know if they're moving all of the old ones, but I think the new season with Shujigawa is going to be on Disney Plus.
Okay, that might be something that we could be interested in.
But
I think just New Who.
Yes.
Just New Who.
Yes, we can't.
Doctor.
We can't go all the way back.
Yeah.
Wait, how long is when did
19?
Doctor Who start? Like
didn't it start in
1960s?
1960s?
well,
Yes, it started in the 60s and then it ended in the 80s, and then in the 90s they did like a one-off movie, and then in 2005 BBC brought it back with the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, and it has been running since then.
So
Yeah,
we're now on the 14th Doctor.
Isn't that David Tennant?
Yes, David Tennant is the 10th, so he's the 10th Doctor.
That's all I really know.
Matt Smith.
And David Tennant was in. Did he do Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire first before Doctor Who?
Yes,
Okay.
it's like around the same time. I don't know if it was right before or maybe like right in the middle of his Doctor Who tenure, but it's around the same time.
Well, speaking of David Tennant, I'm actually going to tie this in really well. Do we think we could possibly see that Bendu scene in Ahsoka? I know a lot of people have been like theorizing, it's possible that we could see
I would love
the
that.
cold open and then it just kind of fades.
Live action Bendu would look crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that.
Really fucked, to be honest.
Imagine it's like that fades and then it's like 12 years later and it just picks up with Ahsoka.
I mean, knowing Filoni, he likes to bring back. He likes to bring stuff into canon that were once concepts.
Yeah.
Like the Boba Fett Cad Bane fight, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that was. Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still
it was an idea from years ago, but he made sure that it
But it was also
happened.
in the animation at that time, though. Too, they had animated it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And from the tweet, obviously tweets cannot be canon in Star Wars, but like it sounds like this is definitely in canon. They just haven't confirmed it yet.
Interesting. I think that's a very interesting concept.
I wonder why they cut it, because I can't imagine why that would have been cut. It seems
Budget,
like it would
maybe?
be good
Budget,
scene.
and if you think about the story as a whole, like, are you gonna put it? you obviously have to put it towards the end, but we're like picking up with Ahsoka when you've been with the Ghost Crew the entire time. Honestly, I feel like that should have been a episode in of itself. Like you have the leg, then you have this episode, and actually I think you have the episode, that scene, but as a whole episode where like Ahsoka's like off on her own thing because she senses something, meets Bendu, then they have that conversation, then it kind of ties into like the events of what we talked about, and then she shows up.
I would rather have like I said, like I'd rather have it come into play into the Ahsoka series. We see it for the first time live action, and then
That'd be cool.
It's like, because I've heard like the theory that like possibly we could get a Rings of Power type Ahsoka's opening episode where it's just an entire prologue, and it's like, and it kind of like it doesn't like go over scenes we've already seen. Like it would just be new material, but kind of just it serves just to get people caught up with what's going on for Rebels fans.
But do you,
because you got to think with Lucasfilm, they have to make it as accessible as possible. Obviously, they're not.
Well, they also have to make it. They also have to like you were saying the other day. What Chase told you. Yeah. What did he say about relevance? Not relevancy, but getting new fans.
Correct. You have to get the fans that watch Mandalorian season 2 because they're going to be like, "Oh, look, it's the girl with the white lightsaber." I think that's Chase's exact quote.
Yeah. So I mean, granted, do I want to see if it's done like Rings of Power, where they do kind of like not like an entire episode of her whole backstory, because I feel like we don't need
but they do have to introduce her because
they do
guaranteed people that are going to watch the show that didn't watch Clone Wars and
or Rebels.
They've only been sucked in with the Grogu capitalism. So
that's true.
I didn't forget. I'm saying that it would be a flashback.
Yeah, but
I also
or maybe we just hear the voice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Like a in her head kind of thing.
I also
Thrawn quote unquote killed him, but he really just disappeared.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in like 3 months.
Yeah, but also I can see even that same episode for the prologue. I can imagine how it would chronologically play out. We could also probably get the Luke Ahsoka original interaction in that episode too.
Oh my god! Don't bring that up. That starts a cluster storm.
It's not a cluster storm. I'm just saying this is like a really good idea because if you just
it is a fantastic idea.
It's not gonna happen.
It's no, because the Lucasfilm never does anything that we do that we suggest.
I would lose. I said this before. I would lose my mind, like just like Kenobi, if Ahsoka starts and it's the recap and it's just Rebels, and it's
that would be such a treat for Rebels fans, though.
Yeah, imagine, and it just gets live action fans just caught up like that.
Because everyone wants Clone Wars flashbacks, but why not Rebels flashbacks?
Not even just we don't even need just animation, just like it's just like a couple minute recap at the beginning of the episode, and then it's like boom, we're caught up.
And that's the thing too, like comparing like Clone Wars to Rebels. Like Clone Wars gets so much praise, but Rebels should be like on the same tier as them. I mean, Rebels is my favorite show, but Clone Wars, like, according to like
Book of Boba Fett was your favorite show.
Okay, that's just Boba Fett. It's whatever. But Clone Wars is on a very high level.
It is.
Somebody
clip that. Constantly.
Somebody clip that.
Constantly underrated. Like when I was still making Star Wars content on TikTok in like 2020 is when I first watched Rebels, and this was like peak Clone Wars season 7 hype. And I would make videos talking about Rebels, and I would get inundated with comments of being like, Rebels sucks. The skinny lightsabers are stupid. It's just for babies. Like the animation sucks. And I made this whole video about how the animation of Rebels is based off of Ralph McQuarrie's original concept art for Star Wars. Like it is based on the style of the original trilogy, not Clone Wars style, like that boxy, blocky animation style. If you look at Ralph McQuarrie's concept art, like it's like Zeb is based off of the original Chewbacca concept design, like everything. Lots of the planets, like I think Lothal
Chopper is based off the original R2 concept.
Yeah, like Lothal is in like the design they end up using for Lothal is in some of the art as well. Like it's very heavily original trilogy inspired, and that's why I love it so much because I am an original trilogy girly. So
yeah, and that's what Hereth was saying too.
Had to defend Rebels with my life. I'm glad it has at least a little bit more of fan base now,
Well,
but
I
it
will
is
say
still
that.
completely underrated in
Because
terms of
Yeah,
the
but
fandom.
with what Hereth was saying too, like with the like if we see callbacks to like scenes in Rebels, it's
Mhm.
like because you
This is
want the general audience to be like, huh, I wonder where that story originated from. Maybe I can go back and
Mhm.
watch it. But then like for people who have seen Rebels and love Rebels, and
Yeah.
we get
We're gonna
that,
be like,
and it's gonna be
yes!
such a nice it's just like a like a warm I don't know what to call it. It would be such a nice
Yeah.
what word
Nod.
am I looking for?
payoff.
It'd be such a nice treat. It'd be a
Yeah.
treat.
Yeah.
Okay, all
And
right.
Yeah.
what building up what Emily said about like how like originally like a couple years ago even like Rebels like fans were like not like I wouldn't say like not like
Shunned.
shunned because like they were kids at the time because you got to think it's been
Yeah.
5 years since Rebel season 4.
And
Those
also-
Oh,
probably
we got the
teenagers.
fucking Purgles last night.
And
The other
also-
night.
I'm getting to it, Luke. Let me build to it. Just like how we're getting a bunch of Clone Wars connections because those fans were adults. Now we're getting connections to Rebels because Rebels fans are now adults. Because you watched the show when you were 13 in 2014. Well, it's been about what, like 9 years? You'd be in your 20s. You would be an adult. You'd be having kids. You'd be introducing the Rebels. So
And
like,
also, Rebels is the first visual media made by Disney or under
Correct.
Disney. So
Yeah. Yep.
And
But
it's wonderful. I watched it once by myself, and then I made it's like during COVID lockdown, made my dad watch all of it with me, and he was like, "This is really good. Like, why have I never seen this?" Like, he really enjoyed it. So I would say it's not just, you know, you don't just have to rely on the nostalgia of if you've watched it when you were younger. Like, I think it still holds up.
yeah,
It's something that, if like you said, if there's some kind of flashback that like you'd still be able to go watch it and enjoy it.
Something about its originality and storytelling just makes it shine, and it
mhm.
also combines with like a little bit of the nostalgia when you were a kid
Yeah.
because of
Oh, yeah.
Ahsoka, and especially with the next episode. It's like
I
very
can
good.
already tell.
Vader,
I
little
can already.
Leia.
I can already tell when we do the sign up sheet for Ahsoka. We're gonna have to have at least 3 guests on because there's gonna be so many people that are just gonna be like, "Can I be on? Can I be on?" Because it's like it's going to. It's gonna. Okay, so I'm tempering my expectations for Ahsoka because
Agreed.
the discourse around that show already, whether it's people not liking Rosario Dawson, or the discourse around Thrawn, or whatever you have, I'm going into it with very tampered expectations because I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans, and this is Star Wars fans in general, will have these huge high expectations, and they watch the first episode and their expectations aren't met, and they don't let things simmer or they don't let things build up. I'm looking at everybody saying that Kenobi is a terrible show, even though they don't
I was about
want
to talk about that. I was like, that's a little bit ironic, Luke.
That's literally Kenobi. That's literally Kenobi.
Well, I was gonna say for this panel in general, like Luke and Char have definitely heard me say it a lot. Luke had Obi-Wan, Char had Book of Boba Fett. Ahsoka's my show. This is the show I've been waiting for since the original Disney Plus slated out. So I was like, finally we're getting the soft continuation to Rebels. I cannot wait, and I've been ecstatic. But like, even I'm kind of getting sick of the discourse around the show because when the quote unquote leaks on it, we're not going to talk about it. But like the discourse around it made me just not want to talk about the show. Not making my personality on Twitter at all. I'm like, no, why would I want to dive face first into this?
Yeah, no.
I think there's there's this thing that happens nowadays where like everybody, I don't know if it was Marvel or I don't know who started it, but like the feeling like you have to predict stuff happening, like this whole like, ooh, what do we think? Yes, WandaVision, like Mephisto, what do we think's gonna happen? This like intense discourse about what we want to happen has like just totally derailed everyone's ability to just enjoy things.
Yes,
Just like
exactly.
it's okay to be disappointed by like little things here and there, but like I feel like people tend to like build up this whole narrative, this
Persona.
whole idea, and they like have a list of things, the boxes they want ticked, and it's like
the
like
PowerPoint presentations.
that's not enjoying media anymore. Like if you're just looking for things to criticize and being like, okay, well it ticked that box and it didn't do that one, and you're like only able to look at things with a critical eye, I just feel like maybe you should take a step back
It sounds
because
like a
that's
creator
not.
that sounds like a creator that
Yeah, it's
I've
just
heard
like it's
before.
not a fun thing to get sucked into because then it's never going to be exactly what you want. Like none of your boxes are going to get ticked. None of this stuff that you think should happen is probably going to happen, and you're just going to be disappointed.
And you're gonna be miserable.
And
Yeah.
like,
About this thing that you supposedly love, like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all
Yeah.
backwards to me.
So before I dive into my facts,
I was gonna say something, but you can.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
So on that note of like Emily talking about like the WandaVision effect of like people constantly predicting stuff, I also felt like there's another effect that has happened in this community, small and large, of like creators in this community of like they constantly have to feel like they have to make something their entire personality, or they have to out fan somebody. Like, oh, I'm a bigger fan of Ahsoka than you, or like that kind of energy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gatekeepy in a sense. Of like feeling they have to be the bigger expert on something.
Oh yeah, it's like especially as content creators, it's like very daunting and exhausting sometimes to be like, okay, well, like I'm constantly worried about being wrong about something. Someone's gonna correct me. Somebody's gonna know more than me. Like it really creates this feeling of like, oh, I can't talk about this unless I know every single little ticky-tacky detail. And again, that's not fun. Like people should be able to be fans no matter what their level of understanding is on a subject.
Absolutely. And that's why I still have not made my Galadriel video of why
What's your
I like
Galadriel video?
I went into I had a whole idea of me breaking down her character development in the Rings of Power and why I like it.
You should. Look, when we say it, nobody listens. So maybe if you say it,
I don't understand why people don't listen to you. It's ridiculous. Being oh my god, I don't get me on that soapbox.
You should re-upload it during National Women's Month and be like
Women's History Month. Yeah.
No, wait. Oh, that's what we should do. I should give you my ideas. You should put them out. Then see how. Like honestly, I love her character development in that show. It's people say it's not written well. It makes sense. It makes
perfect sense if you read like Unfinished Tales, Silmarillion, things Tolkien wrote about her. Like it's none of it is out of character for her.
Nope.
Yeah. So the question I wanted to ask before I dive into my facts segment is, since we already have for 2023, we have Bad Batch and we have The Mandalorian. What other project in 2023 are you most excited about?
Which ones are there?
So we have Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew,
Acolyte.
Those are the two. No, Acolyte's not coming out in 23. It's 24.
Boo.
So it's just Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka.
I'm gonna say Ahsoka.
Well, we're forgetting a couple other things. We're forgetting about Jedi Survivor.
Oh yeah, Jedi Survivor
and High Republic Phase 3.
High Republic Phase 3 for sure. High Republic Phase 2, and I'm just gonna come out and say it, hasn't been hitting.
What the young adult book? I thought Path of Deceit was good, but
Path of Deceit was good. I can't get in Convergence. I don't know if I'm gonna get into Cataclysm.
I know.
I just want to get back to finding out if Burry Yaga fucking survived. I want to know if Burry Boy survived. If he survived, we're good. Okay, that's all I care about.
I just need to know how Eldar's doing. Is my boy Tommy from The Last of Us doing good?
Emily, have you read any of the High Republic books?
No, I have some. I've read some of the Padme. I have some like Star Wars books back here on my shelf. I just don't like physical books. Are hard for me to read right now for some reason. I'm just like all audiobook. So I keep meaning to get into it, but
oh, Vision Season 2.
Oh yeah, they had a whole panel about that celebration. But
yeah.
Emily, if you are going to get into the High Republic, honestly, start with Light of the Jedi. It's such a good opening to a book. Honestly, it's like
Phase
my favorite Star Wars
Phase
opening.
one, Phase 1 of the High Republic is really phenomenal.
Okay.
There's only one miss, and that's
we knew Luke know what it is. We're gonna say it at the same time. Luke, I already have it off the top of my head. I can just say it right now. Out of the Shadows.
No, damn it! Yes, it's Out of the Shadows. It just, we read it and listened to it in the audiobook. I listen to audiobooks and I read at the same time, so it makes it tough. In the audiobook, like when you do audiobooks in Star Wars, it's like you get the whole shebang where there's the music,
I listened
lightsabers,
to Ahsoka and Lost Stars on audiobook, and I was like living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do Light of the Jedi. The adult novels for the most part hit. Actually, all of them hit.
They're all bangers.
They're all really good. Rising Storm will break you, just like Empire Strikes Back.
And then Claudia, when you're broken with Rising Storm, Claudia Gray says, "Oh, I can up that by a lot."
Have you read Master and Apprentice? Oh, Emily, when we go offline, we're giving you a whole checklist.
Where's not a
okay? Yeah, give me the list.
Yes, we will give you the list. But Char, get into your 3 interesting facts.
Hit it, Luke. 3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 24, The Mystery of Chopper Base Edition. Fact 1, unseen for generations until now. The opening sparring match is the first on-screen appearance of a lightsaber in training mode. It has a dimmer shine and produces a different sound. Upon contact, it stings but does not cut or burn. Fact 2, Lasat terminology. It's fitting that Zeb calls creatures that annoy him bogans. That was an early word used in the Star Wars scripts to describe the dark side. The Lasat used the light side counterpart word Ashla from the same source. Fact 3, the little guys have a name. The smaller shelled creatures in this episode are called Dakma. And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about the Mystery of Chopper Base.
I didn't know that first one about lightsabers having a training mode. Like, I actually wondered about that watching that scene. I was like, is this not dangerous? Like,
yeah, because then it wasn't ever touched upon until the Anakin Obi-Wan comic, where they had training mode on.
Well, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I thought they accomplished that in Rebels when they were talking about like the lightsaber and they're like adjusting the height of it and they're talking about like certain things.
Oh yeah, never mind. That was also, I think that was also mentioned, but it wasn't shown.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what a lot of fans don't acknowledge is that Rebels introduced a lot of things. A lot of it was concept, but they actually put it into the canon timeline.
Yeah,
and it's crazy how much of it has been pioneered by Rebels.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Emily, it is time to rank the episode. We have obviously we can probably just guess. We don't even have to do oh jeez. Oh, also, speaking of which, actually we'll rank it and then I will talk about this real quick after we're done. So bad ensign, okay, lieutenant, good, captain, great, admiral, and chef's kiss at Grand Admiral. Emily, what is your ranking?
I think this is a really underrated episode. Like, I was like, I was impressed. I thought it was, I mean, considering the hype for the next episodes, the fact that nobody else wanted to talk about this episode, apparently, I like this episode. I love the ending, especially like the Morai. I love that they just follow Ahsoka. That's one of my favorite little kind of motifs, I guess. I'm gonna say captain. I think this is a good episode. I don't think it's like a crazy episode. I don't know. Maybe admiral.
Okay. Hereth?
I honestly thought you were gonna go all the way and be like, you know what? I'm the only one that want to come on this episode, so Grand Admiral, and like. Just
I thought she was gonna do it too. And
I mean, I don't think I can go that high. I think it's a really okay.
Oh, trust me, we've done it before.
I'll say admiral because I do feel like this is an underrated episode. I thought there was a lot of good.
agree.
I mean, we get Ahsoka, we get Rex.
Yeah, absolutely. Hereth?
I'm gonna give it an Admiral. I think it's a great episode, and it just sets you right up for Twilight of the Apprentice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Char?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna give it a captain. I think it was a good setup. It's not a extremely memorable episode for me. But I mean, I think maybe because it does, it is clouded in the shadow of Twilight of the Apprentice. But I mean, it does set up for not even just the finale of the season, but for future episodes as well. But so I'm gonna give it a captain.
The Canara moment also forgot about that. Lovely Canara moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'll see you again line. Just really have to throw that in there.
Yeah, agreed. I'm gonna give it a Admiral as well. It's got a lot of good story elements to it that I really, really enjoyed. So I'll give it an Admiral. So this episode is dubbed
by vote.
Admiral.
It is Admiral. Yes,
it is an Admiral. It is an Admiral.
You can add it to the tier list ranking whenever I do it at the end of the show, and
yeah, good luck. Kenny says Admiral. Speaking of which, Hacksmith lightsaber. This popped in my head. So Master Allen, if you don't follow him, Level Up Sabers now is the company. He had a accident happen with a tree taking down some power lines and kind of has done some damage to his property and stuff like that. So yeah, if you haven't seen that on TikTok, go check that out. Level Up Sabers has a discount code for I think it's 15% off of all lightsabers and accessories over on levelupsabers.com. Use the coupon code Big Stick for 15%, and you can also go buy from our affiliate in our link tree, or not link tree, in our beacon. You guys can go there and use the 15% off and help out the podcast. This is the first time I've ever done.
I was about to say, I thought this is the first time we actually promote our affiliate link.
Yeah. So if you are looking for a lightsaber, there's no better person or better place to get it from than Master Allen. That's
or
for
if
sure,
you want to be chaotic evil, you could use our old They Fly Now link and pay me.
That's fair. You could do that as well. I don't get any cut of that, so yeah. So
give me cut of the Pod Ones one. So
no, hey, and it's not worth anything right now, so that's just that. That's gonna be it for this episode. Emily, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And this isn't your first Star Wars podcast, unfortunately.
No,
but it's been your first Star Wars podcast. Yeah, you were on High Ground and Dyad all the time.
Rest in peace, High Ground.
Yeah, rest in peace, High Ground. But like you're gonna be a regular for more stuff though on Pod Ones. So
I think I signed up for another Rebels episode down the line.
Yep. And are you still gonna do Mando's season finale?
Oh yes. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
I'll have to work back up again until that 3 a.m.
The one that Luke, Beth, and I will actually be on.
Yes, because Beth, Hereth, and I will be out in London for Star Wars Celebration, covering that and doing things. So
I'm gonna have a party in Pod Ones, and it's gonna be amazing.
So if anybody wants to help out Char, there you go.
Yeah, any takers? Come on.
It's gonna be your own Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, there you go.
April 12th. April 12th. You guys won't be here for April 12th, right?
No, Hereth will be.
No.
Oh no, you won't. Oh yeah, you'll be in Ireland.
So
yeah,
April 12th. That night.
You get April.
Airs an episode. It will be my
March.
birthday.
Or not March. You get.
Holy shit! Are we missing? Oh my god, we're missing Char's birthday.
Yeah. So whoever wants to be on for Mando during my birthday.
Hey, Char, I'll give you a belated birthday a month later. We can just celebrate both our birthdays. There
I would like some friends.
Oh Jesus, I forgot about that. Well, now I feel like a jerk. Thanks, Char.
Yeah, asshole.
Hey,
anyway,
Char, we're gonna celebrate both our birthdays in May.
Anyway, Emily, where can the good people follow you on the social medias? What was that? First of all, hold on before you go into what was that? What was that?
Medicine, medical. Yeah, Hereth, come on, sing it. He was doing it. He was like,
sorry, Emily, go ahead.
You can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at Summer Emily. I also have YouTube and Twitch, and I just took the username everywhere, but I don't post on pretty much anything but TikTok and Twitter. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have you on again, Hereth.
I know.
Well, just like this lightsaber code, we're probably at 15 Jerome months anyway. Also, should I plug my TikTok? It's gonna die. It's gonna like potentially get banned.
Okay, first, what?
No, that never happens.
First
it's
of all,
been banned like 3 times. I'm not worried.
First of all, you have content that you could do. You just choose not to do
I
it.
just choose to do content for you, Luke. There's just a difference.
That does not sound good when you say it.
You know what? I don't have that much free time, and you know what? I just will just do stuff for you.
Your Zillow beast. That's why I kept it in there so that you could clip it and put it in a TikTok form.
I will clip it and put it in a TikTok form eventually. Okay. Anyway,
you're gonna wait until it's confirmed. That's your problem. You're not gonna go out on a limb.
No, I'll go on a limb and say it,
and then see, that's the best part. You can have people call you an idiot, and then you can be like, "Ha! Guess what? This was true, bitches.
This is true." Let me pull up my copy of Secrets of the Sith and be like, "Fuck you!" No, that's old TikTok.
You know what I just found out the other day? I was at Barnes and Noble and I just found out that there was a Secret of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, and it's all in Hondo's perspective. It's cool.
Anyway, you can find me Hair Productions on TikTok and Instagram, and Hair_edits on Twitter, and Hive. Fuck you, Luke.
Yes.
Not nice. Apologize to Luke.
Yeah, apologize to me right now.
I will not. Yeah,
no. Hey, no. We're not doing our outros until you say you're sorry. Okay.
Char, damn, you have a full parallel. Yeah, you apologize.
Hate is not accepted here, unless it's from Kenny, because Kenny is in charge of all the derailments.
Anyway,
are we sure Kenny's in charge of all the derailments?
Yeah, yes, he is.
No, apologize.
No, Char, we gotta get going. Char, where can the good people follow you?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Char, J as spelled right here. And you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast every Thursday night as we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Next week, check us out for Season 2, Episodes 21 and 22 of Twilight of the Apprentice.
Typical Char NPC moment.
Yep.
No.
And you can follow us at the Pod Ones on all social medias. Go check out our Mando Season 3, Episode 1 reaction and our Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 11 reaction. But that's going to be it for this one. May the Force be with you. Always.
See you guys.